Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Alright, welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Jeremy, and I am playing, or usually playing in our regular episodes, Grayson, about to be the interrogator Digby.
I'm Jeff, and I usually play Demetrius, not putting up with stuff, Nordan.
I'm Jordan. I'm the GM.
I'm Mike. I play Valentine. I guess I'm gonna keep good old Brother Benedict around for a little while longer. Montecute.
I am Aaron, and I play Brother Benedict.
This is Johnny, and I play Jorus Glaive, the guy nobody likes, and he's okay with that.
Yeah. I was just saying before we started the recording that I feel like this episode or this session of recording was really tense because all of the characters except for Jorus had just seen a lot of really crazy stuff happen. So, there was, I think, a sense of caution that might not have been there if you guys had come into this without the scene at the...
Exactly. In the scene in the warehouse with Grayson, let me tell you what Grayson was thinking about when the priest went down there. It's like, normally it's like, all right, let's follow him down there.
Yeah.
But then he's thinking, it's like, if I follow him down there and the door closes, I have no way of knowing how to get out. And if the bad people that were at the temple on Densham Estate show up and they do more bad things, I'm stuck there.
Yeah.
And eventually, visibility is going to go away. Nope. Not walking into that situation.
Yeah, there was a lot more caution.
Can't blame you on that one.
For Demetrius, everyone was like hinting at, I should go in that room with Jeremy. And I was like, no, this is a bad idea. And then the priest showed up, and I was like, this is why it was a bad idea. I'm so glad I didn't go in there.
Because you would have got left.
I'd have got found.
And then left.
And then left.
And then that would have been a lot of
That
fun
would have
for
been
me.
the end of Demetrius.
No, see, along those same lines, though, you suspected that that Grayson went into that room,
Yeah.
but then he wasn't discovered in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But it's Grayson.
Yeah, it's Grayson.
Yeah.
He does weird things like that all the time.
I know he's good at hiding.
When we escaped from Densham Estate the first time, I just disappeared and no one thought anything of it.
Right.
Until I showed them,
Well,
hey, it's
yeah.
the way out is this way.
Yeah.
I loved how everybody is kind of dealing with it in your own particular way. Like Brother Benedict is really feeling like I was promised these things, and he doesn't seem to have a very long attention span. So, he wants immediate gratification, and it doesn't seem to be coming his way anytime soon.
No. And on the other hand, I think that he is starting to get the idea that these things that he has wanted for so long that he thought were going to
Just magically happen.
and he's starting to understand that they're not just going to magically happen. They don't just, the girls don't fall out of the sky, and food isn't set out at banquet tables all day in the cities. And he's attempting to understand that. And I think that was one thing, is as much as Brother Benedict doesn't like Jorus, one thing that I think Jorus was able to get across to him was the idea that the only way to get the things that he wants is to finish up with what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
Which was entirely Jorus's point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a matter of getting you to like him, it's a matter of get the job done.
The objective needs to be completed.
Yes.
And then Valentine, it seemed like Valentine was still trying to process everything that had happened. So again,
Yeah.
very cautious.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to maintain the social control that he had in the group while still questioning whether or not he wanted to.
Yeah, it was kind of more like I was feeling like this time around. I was like, okay, yeah, we just had like this crazy turn of events happen the last adventure, and then now I was kind of looking at him like I've kind of adopted Brother Benedict,
Yeah.
and I'm not quite sure I really wanted it like this, and then I'm like, okay, he's asking more questions. And I was kind of like, in a way, originally, it's just like, well, I'm just going to kind of string along for what I need. But now I'm like, we're kind of going through a lot of crazy stuff together. And I'm like,
It's been a crazy day.
it's
Yeah, it has
kind
been a
of,
crazy
it's
day.
interesting having him around, but it's also kind of like a burden. But I was like, what do I do? I was like, in a way, like, I wasn't even expecting my character to get so much of like a heart. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's like, I kind of want to abandon it, but now I feel like I shouldn't, because I've led this poor guy astray to like so many promises that you have to keep. And then when
Jorus.
Jorus came around, at first when he's kind of saying all this stuff, I was like, this bastard's about to usurp my guy. But then I thought, well, he's about to take my burden away, and then he's gonna get stuck with it. But it was interesting because as soon as he kept talking, like for a while, I was like, well, great, have him. But then he talked more. I'm like, but you know, I don't know if I want him to have him. And then when they had like their little exchange, and then as I was like watching from outside of a character's perspective, I was like, you know, I'm kind of liking that this is already becoming dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jorus came into the group at the most inopportune time.
Yeah.
For the group.
Yep.
It's funny. The nature of his character. Did we say this in episode or on recording?
I don't
It
remember.
might have
Go ahead.
been. But that if Jorus had joined the group
At
like
the beginning, yeah.
12 hours before,
Yeah.
it would have been
happened.
it would have been much different than
Right.
And so Jorus, as he came in, sort of is feeding the thoughts of
Disunity.
Yes.
of disillusionment for everybody, all the other characters.
It's also affecting the way that Jorus is viewing everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it is, especially since Jorus is able to
Read their
read their minds. He's reading their minds at the worst time
Yeah.
to figure out how does this group work. I'm reading 3 people's minds so far, and so far this group does not work,
Yeah.
which goes right along with what Grayson thinks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But Jorus and Grayson do not know that about each other yet.
No.
But
See, I think that eventually Jorus and Grayson could get along eventually.
maybe, but it started off very badly because
Well,
and
the first impression you got from Grayson was he's hiding something he shouldn't be.
and the first impression that Grayson takes from any noble is that they're worthless. They're noble because they can't work.
Yep.
They want everybody else to work for them. And by the end of this recording session,
That's still exactly what we see.
happened? Grayson and Demetrius found everybody, got everybody together, and at the last moment, when we captured somebody to interrogate, you show up and you say, "Good work." We did the work. You did nothing. So that only feeds what Grayson thinks even more.
Yep.
So it might be. I mean,
It's all bad timing.
Our backgrounds could lend itself to can work well together, but at the same time, it is now a huge uphill climb because of how things have started off.
Yeah. And see, what Jorus is seeing is that y'all have not accomplished anything of use, is what he's seeing.
I can see that because he doesn't know that you got the gears.
No.
He doesn't know.
All I know is that you went to the estate.
I guess that's what we've done so far.
Well, this is what he knows. You went to the estate and you saw the freaky stuff happen.
Yeah. I mean,
That's all you accomplished.
Which is a lot.
In a
when
lot
you
of
think
ways,
about
that's
the
a
It
lot.
is,
Well, I
Right.
mean, we figured out
It's
that
not the goal.
that Densham is in league with the Riemann Church. That he has the ones that stolen the gears, plans to do it for a coup to take over the throne or give it to another kingdom somehow.
Yeah.
There's a lot that the group has found out.
Yes, but Jorus doesn't realize you found all that stuff out.
Right.
Yeah.
He just knows what you told at the first meeting at the beginning of this session.
And also the meeting with Walsham, Digby and Walsham
Mm.
going at it.
Well, the meeting did not start well for Digby.
No, it didn't.
Digby went in there, and his plan was, all right, this is what we've got. Big reveal. Boom. I've got these gears.
And see, that would have changed Jorus's view
The timbre
completely.
would have been.
But then
Digby walks in.
Digby walks in, and it's, while Digby was doing something, the rest of the group got his cousin killed.
Yeah.
I don't trust these guys anymore. So that's why he went to Walsham on his own to tell him about.
Yeah, but even you were really mouthy to Walsham from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of mouthiness that happened right there. You're very lucky that he didn't decide to have you clapped in irons at that point. He could have, actually, now that I think about it. That would have been fun.
See, another point of tension between Grayson and Jorus is the age that Grayson is when I was in the military.
Yeah, so he sees this as a formative time, and Jorus sees Grayson as wasting his life at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, what are you doing wandering the streets?
So there's a lot of good interplay here. Honestly, that's what I love about role-playing, especially with you guys, is that the interplay between the characters really layers on top of itself and grows. And
Oh, yeah. I tell you, it's very hard to not metagame.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so hard.
Like, I metagame right there at the very end saying, okay, where is his warehouse so I can go there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, you were
But-
asking a question
Yeah.
of an NPC, so it's a little more understandable.
And it was a valid question
Yes.
for what
The-
you were doing.
yeah.
As what your character's character was doing.
Yes. You know, the way Jorus sees is, this group's incompetent, I have to do it all myself.
And he
Which
shows
is-
up.
Yeah, this
and
is what Grayson is thinking.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So let's go ahead and talk about points in advancement and everything like that. 10 points from me
to all
to all.
27.
39.
Whoa.
Mike over here is sitting on 44.
Yeah, eventually I'm gonna disperse these points into these stats here.
So who do you think advanced their character the most?
That's a hard one.
I honestly,
This is tough because at least from Grayson's standpoint,
yeah,
what I'm trying to do with Grayson is I have to advance him in a totally different direction than really what I built him
to do.
for.
Yeah.
Because in the course of, I don't know how many, 4 hours, there have been 2 deaths that have really rocked his world as he knows it. So for his original goals for advancement, he's going in a totally different direction at this point.
Yeah.
So he's advancing his character, but not in the direction that he originally wants to go.
Yeah.
So
I think that honestly, there's a very good argument that Valentine advanced his character
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because he went from being the guy who wanted to have very shallow relationships to feeling real guilt and angst over how this.
Yeah, and I was
His protege.
like, I was
Yeah.
literally feeling that through the thing, through the game, because I was like, At first I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can get rid of Benedict, but then once he was talking more, and kind of was like misleading, I was kind of, he might be somewhat of a misguided, dim-witted monk, but he's my misguided, dim-witted monk.
See, that's where I'm torn between Mike and Aaron on who should get this point, because Aaron also advanced Brother Benedict quite a bit because of the whole same situation.
Yeah.
It's like he's learning more about reality.
Slowly.
Slowly, but you
surely.
are.
Yeah.
and Jorus came in at this level and just immediately goes boo.
Well,
took steps backwards as far
from the group's perspective.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, we don't know anything about your goal, so
No.
unless your goal is to
His goals are very simple-minded. It's, I want to serve the queen as best I can.
Yeah, pretty much. That is my goal, is do what the queen needs done.
Yeah. So
I am very much a
So
queen's man.
in a lot of ways, your goals are less character oriented and more outward oriented.
Yes.
And so you did a pretty good job with that tonight.
Like, if I was in the room with the priest, when like Grayson was, if I was in Grayson's situation, I would have had to kill that priest right away. Just from the 2 sentences that I heard,
Mm-hmm.
That the queen is the product of a bastard marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that it evokes my complication right there on my personal code of always serve the queen.
Yeah.
And to Grayson, that's useful information. So
Yeah.
No, it is
Yeah.
useful information, but at the same time, my personal code would be, he's a dead man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I think I agree with Valentine getting this point. I think the character depth was really revealed
Yeah.
Yeah.
tonight.
yeah, I would have to agree with that because this is a real good contrast of what we saw from Valentine last play session, where it came out, oh, Valentine, the cold-blooded like killer,
Yeah.
and now
Yes.
Valentine, like
Yeah.
you see this
And the
other
switch
side.
up in a matter of hours.
There's a huge tension within the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, originally what I had with this character in mind was when I was, you know, when we were talking about it, when I was thinking, I was like, you know, because I'm really into Star Trek Deep Space Nine right now, I was like thinking, like, kind of like the look and the wannabe charm of Dr. Bashir, but the sly selfishness of Quark, you know.
I think Quark is my favorite DS9 character. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where it's like, in a way, but I kind of still see it's like that parallel still there because he, you know, he's selfish, he's manipulative, you know, he goes for what he wants, but deep down, if you really dig underneath all that, there is like a shred of decency in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you could definitely say that about
Yeah.
Quark, especially towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
Are we agreed?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I
Yeah.
would say
It goes to
Valentine.
Mike.
And since you brought it up, if we're drawing
Go ahead.
her some inspiration from shows, I've been trying to think about this in between play sessions how to take Grayson to a completely different level. So I've been watching. I'm not going to go into all the details of the show, but I've been watching on Netflix the 100. As I was watching, the third season is what's on there now. So as I was watching that, I'm thinking, ooh, this will be really good to draw from because in every episode, all of the main characters have something horrific happen to them.
Yeah.
Like, and they respond to that in different ways. So it's good. Like, let me
Seeing
see
different
how
ways
this,
to respond.
different ways to respond
Yeah.
to that. So that's sort of what I'm doing now to figure out what Grayson's mindset is going to be moving forward.
So best role play. That again is another tough one.
That's a hard one for tonight too.
Yeah.
Whereas last week it was hard because it was not as much role playing happening. Tonight there was a lot of role playing happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There were some good moments that brought out some good role playing, brief moments between Jorus and Grayson.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's always the NPCs and Brother Benedict.
Brother Benedict's always a delight watching.
Well, I thought that Benedict's roleplay, yes, he did advance the character some, but the way he was playing through how he was trying to figure out the social status of people was really a good amount of role playing. You know, because he was trying to understand human interaction in a way that he had never seen before. And he was trying to figure out how to work in a hierarchy.
Living in a cave 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that. And I really liked it. I know we said this in between episodes at one point when the names of the ships came up. You had the three names, which one had to do with food, the other had to do with women, and the other one, to every other character in the group, would have been the obvious choices to look at that boat. But Benedict was like, food? Women, it's got to be one of those two ships.
But, and then it was actually the
woman.
It wasn't the Tempe, the one that we thought it would have been.
No.
It was the woman one, and
La Damiana, yeah.
yeah, which is interesting because if Benedict had his way,
Yeah. You very nearly discovered the secret, like, first thing.
if only.
And then not only that,
But you listen to Valentine.
Yeah. And again, this is like, I wrote up like 10 different things, and I can't show you the sheet of paper because there.
Some of them probably still will happen.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's here that we didn't even touch on.
I'm sure.
You guys were like right there, and I'm like, just one more step.
I knew, and this is where I didn't want to metagame because
Yeah.
I knew when we were in the warehouse that we were right there.
Yeah.
But Grayson wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
So I couldn't make Grayson go there. I was like, no, he can't. He's not going to put himself in that situation.
And that was so hard to sit here and be like, there's something really cool right around the corner.
And see, if I had been able to talk to the captain, I would have used ESP on him. Try to read his thoughts.
You didn't even try to listen at the door or anything.
No, because personally, I know enough about ships that it's not that easy to hear through a door like that.
A little metagaming.
Yeah.
Well, his character would have known enough.
Yeah,
about
his
ships
character probably
too.
would have known.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobility,
being
he's
nobility,
been on a
so.
boat.
So anyway, best role play.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that Mike, his role playing was pretty good when he was trying to like save Brother Benedict from being tossed in the water. I thought that was pretty good. He was like, yeah, no, he's from out of town. He doesn't know anything. He's dumb.
He's a little slow.
Just give him to me.
10 years in a cave. Come on. Cut him a little slack.
I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
good.
And then Grayson at the beginning. I do think that Grayson's response to the whole shebang that got dropped on him at the beginning was pretty fantastic. Between his response to the group, his response to Lord of Walsham, that was fitting pretty good with that character, with the way he's been played so far. Even though, especially since it's not a direction you were initially wanting to go, the fact that now you have to go a completely different avenue, but still keep in character, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, there was something that I wanted to happen when I was searching the docs by myself, but it didn't happen. I wanted to show that sort of that schism between where Grayson normally would go and where he's forced to go now. It may come up later, so I'm gonna hang on to that. So,
And I also like that Grayson, he didn't completely drop what he's used to doing when he came to Demetrius. He was like, "Is your place gonna be fixed in time for me to store stuff?" So he was still thinking on the same lines that he normally would, but just through the distractions of everything horrible that's been happening. So yeah,
I don't know. My vote probably would be for Johnny,
With a new character.
the new character.
Totally different tone.
Well,
Totally
I
different.
agree.
Totally different tone, but coming through with these are my beliefs and sticking to those beliefs rather than trying to, I'm assigned to work with this group. Let me try and gel with the group.
well, right here, my personality written on my page: stoic and quiet, likes animals more than people, fiercely loyal to the queen.
It's a pretty simple character description. Yeah.
So
That's all you need to know.
That's my vote is for Johnny.
I'm gonna go vote for Johnny as well, just for the mere fact that he literally kind of like changed my character throughout the game, and he literally like kind of like made me think. I'm like, crap, what do I really want to do? Do I want to just save Brother Benedict to the wolves, or do I actually kind of want to save him?
That actually is a fitting vote because it is because of Johnny's character that you were forced to do some character development.
Yes, like right there. And it was like my character had to mature quick.
Yeah.
And I was not intending for that.
I think it might be the oldest one in the group too. I'm 27.
I'm 27 as well.
So
I'm 20-ish.
20-ish. Yeah.
fair enough.
The years in the cave kind of diluted. I'm not quite
I'm
sure how
definitely
old I
the
am.
youngest.
Oh, you're definitely the youngest. But...
And also the mouthiest.
Hey, you got to be when you run a street business.
Yeah.
At the age of 17, you got to be mouthy.
I wish-
Everybody's going to take you seriously.
I really wish that Lord Walsham had told me that there was magic involved.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know.
He didn't know, because I could have been looking for things magically.
So it sounds like the point's going to Johnny.
All right, best snack.
Who made the yummy cake over there?
Walmart did.
Yeah, the carrot cake there.
Walmart gets a.
Oh, Walmart. All right. Well, that was my favorite. of
Aaron
them.
brought the cake.
Aaron brought the cake.
All right.
Jeremy brought the sour kids and the chips.
Korean barbecue chips.
They were pretty tasty.
They're pretty good.
They were pretty good.
Although I think that the name of it should have been just food truck rather
Yeah.
than.
Yeah, it had that hint.
was-
I can't.
It was
think
Korean
of-
barbecue food truck.
Well, I think if you look on there, it does say food truck series. So
Oh, okay. So I'm not that far off then.
yeah. So, and then Johnny had the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
if
so
there's
good.
bacon and jalapeno, that gets my vote.
Bacon, jalapeno, and cheese.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
It was.
That's why Johnny likes to have the games at his place, so that he doesn't have to go anywhere and cook it at that place.
Man, that carrot cake with the cookies around it though
Really
pretty
good.
basic.
that my vote is going to be for
Carrot
the
cake?
Carrot cake.
Mine's definitely for the bacon poppers.
Johnny, you have a vote?
I was actually really enjoying the Sour Patch Kids myself, so
You can never go wrong with sour
There you
patch.
go, bro. There you go.
They certainly do make you feel sour and sweet, you know.
All right. It's sounding like carrot cake.
You said
I said the
too.
carrot
I
cake,
said
yes.
carrot cake,
Yeah.
so
I was
Unless you're going to tie it with...
yeah. Which were you voting for?
I voted for the poppers.
Okay,
So
so
it's
that's
2 and 2.
2 and 2. You
2 and
break
2.
Oh.
Which one did you like better, GM?
Yeah, poppers. I gotta be honest.
it. Okay.
There's bacon.
There's bacon. There's a little spice to it.
It was delicious.
It was.
See.
So Johnny, you got 2 points extra for the evening, which is a good start off for a new character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was considering making Toad in the hole.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's so good.
That would have been amazing. You would have definitely had
Totally
some.
ironic.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my gosh.
Toad jokes.
He lives
So
on in our
bad.
hearts.
And in our bellies.
And
Oh man.
So did you guys enjoy the pacing of tonight? Like a bit of a rebound from the last session?
There were a couple of slow points, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad. I had a really hard time not having a throwdown with the
Well,
sailors.
at one point when Grayson and Demetrius were in the warehouse, I'm thinking, like me personally, was like, all right, we need to force something, get into some combat here.
Yeah.
And then we went into the secret room, and the priest goes down, and I'm thinking, not that kind of combat. No thanks.
I love that you were like tapping on the candle to
Oh, I originally, like, as soon as this would have been really bad for Grayson's character, because originally, as I said, I was going to put out the candle with my fingers.
Yeah.
I was going to say any wax that I was in there, I was going to try and tip the candle and get it off. But I thought of that, like, after I said, I move into the corner. And then I was thinking, oh no, the wax. And he comes and he tips the candle and the trap door happens. I would have been like, oh no! Here's the combat!
Oh my gosh. That was so good.
Like, from a player perspective, I was hoping to see Benedict actually get in the fight with the sailors.
He was so hard pushing against the fight.
From the character perspective, we're working as spies. They
Yeah.
should know languages.
Yeah. Well, part of the issue is that
I forget that they're not all trained spies. Like I am.
they're not trained
Correct.
spies. Also, the issue is that a lot of the fear and the suspicion is about internal threats.
Yeah.
So they've totally stumbled on an external threat that they were not expecting. Like, these guys are meant to be spies who are looking for people who are Reman's more along Dincham's line.
Yeah.
Right.
And they've come across something that's a lot bigger scope than they were expecting. It makes sense.
Like I said, from a character perspective, it's like, we're spying. You
Right.
should be a trained spy.
You should know languages. It's hard to balance that,
It is.
especially in character creation, because you don't. It's,
Well,
like-
it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy though that Brother Benedict is able to like randomly know all this language and then can't say.
1 minute, it's like, yeah, sure, I got this. Next minute,
That was another great thing. He's shouting,
Dogmaster!
Dogmaster, Lord, Captain. And the sailors in the other language are shouting, Dogmaster, Lord, Captain.
yes.
That's great.
Oh.
But that really just goes to show that a lot of times we try and communicate with each other, and we're saying the same thing, and it just goes right past each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a real life nugget right there.
I've had arguments where that has happened, and then I would realize what's going on, and I'm like, hold up, stop. We're arguing. But we're arguing about the same thing.
We have the same
like we have the
viewpoint.
same idea, we're just saying it differently. And even when I said that, some people would be like, but no, la 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 la, and I'll continue arguing. I'm just like, we're saying the same thing.
It's
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
It's real life in a microcosm right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I also have 4 hero points.
Yay!
So do I. Yes.
I spent one. And then I got one. I stole one from Jeff.
Yes, you did.
Before he could.
But that was so funny. I had to
And
reward it.
it totally would have fit with your character versus my character, because my character says that all the time. So you'd be like,
Yeah.
yes.
Especially since we have that smuggling relationship. I would have been like,
Yes.
hey, timing is everything.
You probably heard him say it a million times.
Probably.
Good
It's just
night.
one of those little jabs where it's like, yeah, you say this all the time. Deal with it.
All right, I think on that note, we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. Thank you so much for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. We'll see you next time. Or we'll talk to you next time, I guess is a better way to put it.
You'll hear us next
You'll
time.
hear us next time.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, Mike, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook and Google+. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.